Hey, music technology class, how's it going? Hope you guys are having a good day so far. You're getting ready for your break off coming up here for Easter break and spring break. Sorry I cannot be there today. I'm up in Canada with our performing groups, enjoying the city of Montreal and Quebec City, as they pronounce it up here. So today, we talked about a little bit last time, kind of some DJ skills and what is DJing. We talked about some different musical styles that DJs tend to use, and one of the things we talked about was EDM. Now, EDM stands for electronic dance music. So today, for this class period, before we go on break, what you're going to be doing slightly different than planned because our tech department hasn't installed some of the software that we need for our programs in order for you guys to mix and master some of your own DJ skills. We're going to try and make our own little EDM track, or at least a really short portion of an EDM track today using Mixcraft. So what I have for you guys up here on the screen is an example of an EDM song made in Mixcraft. Now, if we look over here, we can see that we have a lot of MIDI instruments. So this person has created a lot of this music themselves. But we can also see they brought in some loops down here from our loop library that they used. You can use a combination of these things. You can use some loops. You can record some of your own MIDI using our MIDI keyboards. If you feel more comfortable, don't be afraid to use more loops than what we see up here. This is certainly a lot of MIDI input from this particular user, and you can also see we've added some effects in here that they've changed throughout. So what I want to do is we're just going to listen to this song, or at least a little portion of this song, and I want you to ask yourself, what kind of instruments do I hear? Does the song kind of have any type of pattern or form? Are there repeated sections? Does it kind of follow like a pop song, like verse, chorus, verse, chorus? You can probably already just look at the song and see that, yes, there are going to be some sections repeated. And also try to get a feel for the style of the music. Like, it's called EDM, like we said, so it's all electronic based. So we're not going to be using any acoustic instruments like trumpet, piano, saxophone. It's all electronic instruments. So it's a lot of synth, it's a lot of effects, it's a lot of drum sampling, it's a lot of synthetic bass as well. So let's listen to this, keeping those questions in mind. Form, structure, what instruments do I hear, what effects do I hear, and also what kind of maybe effects do I hear added to these synth tracks. As you can see, there's a lot of synth tracks. So let's listen to a little bit. We're not going to listen to the whole thing, but let's try and get a feel of what EDM music is. I'm going to pause our playback there. Now, so far we've probably heard a little bit of a pattern or structure to this song that we can recognize. So at the beginning, we kind of have a little intro or a fade-in section. Then we kind of have this build, let's call it our verse. You can even just see structurally this oatmeal section, our track 8, is repeated here. Our detuned section, IP, our detuned IP is also repeated. We have some more visual repetition of our parts. So we kind of have this A section, our verse, our B section, our chorus, kind of our intro almost, again, or our A section just without our drums part or our bass, and then our chorus again over here. And then we get into kind of an end section here, which we didn't listen to. So it's kind of like an intro, A, B, throughout. Now, another thing that you'll notice in EDM music is we kind of layer in our parts one at a time, and you can see that visually again here. Also, we like to fade in our parts. These little automations that we've added show our volume, as well as here our master volume. You can see once we get to this big section here with all that kind of whiny bass, this synth part, we've upped our volume. You can see the same thing happens at the end. So that's kind of just an introduction to what our EDM music is. Now, if we try to identify our instruments, we heard a lot of synths, a lot of synthetic sounds. Once again, it's all electronic, so it should be synth-based. Our drums sound very muffled, very artificial, not like our traditional drums are. And we had a lot of synth up top. So, as you're going to be making just a really short EDM tune here today, focus using on synths, all right, and use different kinds of synths. Play around with the synths that you can record in, but also don't be afraid to use some loops. If you want to use some loops from the library just to get started, go ahead and do that. Or see if you can just add in all kinds of loops. But see if you can change maybe the effects, add some automations to it to make it really match more this EDM style that we want. So today what you guys are going to be doing is just kind of working and creating a really simple EDM tune. Now, it's not going to be anything nearly like what you see on the screen here. Not even close to that. So if you think you need to create this, do not think that. That is not what we are looking for today. What you will be creating is probably about, I'd say, this much. Alright, so we want to kind of get our beginning part, this really kind of simple, basically 4-note intro, and then maybe add some drums in. So try and get the intro and an A section done. We're going to be using this when we get back, is to try and start to build a song in Mixcraft using this EDM kind of style. Also, when we come back from break, we're going to talk more about what we can do in Mixcraft to kind of create this kind of whiny bass part, or wah, 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 all of that through here. So, take some time today, play around with some of the automations, listen to some of the loops. Whenever you save your project, go ahead and save it as EDM project, of course with your name at the beginning for me, please, so I can identify it as yours. So you guys have the entire period to work. Please make sure you're saving throughout the period as you're working on it. Don't be afraid to use some of those loops if you need to try to get yourself started. But also don't be afraid to record some sounds using your MIDI keyboard. Of course, Greg, you know exactly what sound I don't want to hear in your project. And please don't annoy your substitute with that sound on our drum kits on our MIDI keyboard. So guys, get some work done today. Please respect your substitute teacher. I'll see you guys when we come back from our break on Tuesday after Easter. Have a great break, guys. I'll see you when we come back.